In this video, I will show you one of the possible ways to dual boot two Linux operating systems, namely EndeavourOS and ElementaryOS. First, I'll give you a quick overview of the look and feel of each of their desktop environments. Next, I'll show you how to go about installing them with dual booting in mind. And finally, I'll go through installing stuff on them. This video has several sections on it, so I included chapter markers in the description below so you can navigate easily. Let's go! By the way, I am using real hardware, so we can actually dual boot using BIOS since we can't do that on a virtual machine. And besides, I'm really planning to use these operating systems anyway, if not fully use them. I'll explain things on the way. There. Let's do a quick tour of both operating systems before reinstalling them. I'm using an Elgato HD60S Plus capture card, so the OS is detecting a 4K monitor. Let's change the resolution because I'm only on 1080p. Clicking Apply. Ah, crap, why did I hit Revert? Okay, so why do we have a black screen instead of getting back the 4K display? That's the point of the revert button, right? Maybe it's my capture card, maybe it's the OS, I don't know. We're back. We're just going to change the resolution to 1080p again. Speaking of which, I am using the Plasma KDE desktop environment. There are a couple of desktop environments you can choose to use for Endeavour. We'll get to see a list of these during the installation later. I'm actually not a fan of purple, but this default theme has already brainwashed me like the TikTok algorithm. There we go. Okay, so right off the bat, as you've already seen a while ago, we see a post-install introduction window. I think this is similar to what a lot of Linux distros do. Here's the start menu or app launcher. We also have Firefox installed as the default browser. And this is Dolphin, our file explorer, which I am using to show you how window interaction looks like when launching apps, showing the desktop, switching windows, and so on. This here is console, KDE's command prompt and the terminal of Mac and Linux. Let's go to the EndeavourOS site. A terminal-centric distro. Okay, I kind of remember this terminal is supposed to be translucent by default, and I'm trying to show that, but apparently it's not. Maybe I'm already getting confused with all the Linux distros I've tried. Anyway, we're going through the system tray starting with networks. You can expand the panel to see, speed stuff. And this is how the audio item looks like with individual volume sliders and so on. You can also go into the actual system settings through this button. This is status and notifications. And of course the date and time stuff. Let's see. Power management. Clipboard, which can also hold multiple copied items. And this, I don't know what this is. Alright, we're going to reboot into ElementaryOS, so bye-bye Endeavour for now. God, I love that screen for some reason. Let's see, should I cut this part in post? In search of Increbidel, spamming Dell. For reference, I have an Asus H610MD D4 motherboard, says so right here. Changing the boot priority to Elementary. Save and exit. Let's go. By the way, I chose Endeavour and Elementary because of their Arch Linux and Ubuntu bases respectively. Why? I'm just more familiar with Ubuntu and I just wanted to try how, different Arch Linux is from it. Honestly, I am leaning more into Endeavour visually, but I still need Elementary as a comfort zone. App, Debian, and just Ubuntu in general. Linux Mint has been my choice of Linux for the longest time because I guess it looks and feels fresh. Speaking of fresh, just look at this. Or maybe it's just the majesty of this wallpaper. I don't know. 4K resolution. Let's go to 1080p. And apply. Oh heck, I think I remember setting the refresh rate to 120 Hz. Doesn't make sense for me to do it, so why? And now we have a black screen again. Oh there, it reverted nicely as expected. Nice. Let's set it correctly this time. Oh, and if you're looking for something specific like the actual installation or settings to dual boot these two, please skip ahead. Chapter markers are available in the description. So this is Elementary OS and its Files app. And this is... oh wait. Oh yeah, the Windows key launches the shortcuts window, which you can customize right here. Windows space launches the start menu or app launcher. Command space Mac OS. And like typical Linux and Mac, we have the terminal. Here we have the default browser. I don't know what this is, to be honest. The default search engine is DuckDuckGo. This is how it looks when we switch windows. I prefer this default behavior where it doesn't blast your target window on the screen immediately. For almost 10 years now, I've used Windows 10 primarily. Streaming, gaming, editing, dev work, everything. During this time, I've tried Ubuntu and Linux Mint on and off. So this time, before jumping to Windows 11, I'm going to try out these two Linux distros. Also, Windows Plus zooms in as you can see here. One of the reasons for making this video is that I found it really difficult to dual boot these two operating systems. Endeavour uses system deboot by default and Elementary uses GRUB. And then of course Windows has its own bootloader, but I have it on another physical drive, so I think it makes it easier. These two operating systems are supposed to have this function called install alongside or install beside, but I can't get it to work, so we'll go with manual partitioning as you will see later on. So if this video won't help anybody, it will help me remember this process at the least. I mean, I think it's because Endeavour and Elementary aren't the most popular Linux distros. Alright, let's make our live USB for EndeavourOS. I'm going to use an app called Etcher to flash a USB drive. This will make it bootable with our selected ISO. It looks like Etcher is not in the Elementary App Center, so let's download it from their site. Etcher. Download Etcher. Gosh, cookies. Avoid sugar. Download 64-bit. Alright, where is it? Let's see. What? It didn't download? Alright, so for some reason it didn't download, and when it did, it got the 32-bit version. So we downloaded the 64-bit version now. Making it executable, properties, permissions, give execute to owner, launch. There. Let's get the Endeavour ISO. Where? Oh right, I forgot to mount my hard drive. There we go, mounted. Let's see. Data, software, systems, Linux. And there you go. Select target. Flash. I'll fast forward through the flashing process. Waited for an eternity, really feeling the skip button right now. Wow, okay. I thought it was going to take another hour in the finishing stage. Restarting. Okay, booting. We're seeing a black screen. Here we go. We're going to set, we're going to make the flash drive bootable. We're going to put this at the top so we can boot from it. I'm going to save and exit so we can reboot. Let's see, booting. We're going to see the boot sequence, like tons of operating system is loading. You see some matrix-like stuff. And now we have my mouse pointer. It's like a dot in the infinite universe. All right, so welcome to EndeavourOS Gemini. Okay, let's just change the 4K to 1080p so we can see things. All right, 1080, apply. I'm clicking on keep this time. All right. Oh, by the way, this is for this just says if you have a wired network, it uses this by default. If it doesn't, then use the other one. You know, if it ain't broke. Let's start the installer. And here we'll go online so I can show you the different desktop environments. Welcome to the EndeavourOS Gemini installer, American English. Just because we're used to the spelling and everything. All right, setting the language stuff, ENUS, another ENUS for the time and date. Oh, wait. I want to show you, this is where you set the input device, you know, your keyboard layout. So here we have the different desktop environments. Of course, I'm not going for the no desktop option because I chose Plasma KDE in the first place. We have GNOME, get things done with ease, comfort, and control. XFCE is a lightweight desktop environment. Cinnamon is a free and open source desktop environment. Mate, the Mate desktop environment is the continuation. Budgie desktop is a feature-rich modern desktop. LXQT is a lightweight Qt desktop environment. LXDE, which stands for lightweight. i3 is the tiling window manager. Ooh, yeah. Oh, wait. This is the package installer, and we'll leave everything by default and skip. Boot options. We're going to use systemd boot because it's, you know, the default. Here we have to make sure that we selected the correct drive because you don't really want to accidentally delete your data drive. We're going to go for manual partitioning to dual boot because for some reason install alongside or install beside just doesn't work for me. Probably because of systemd boot, GRUB, and GRUB2. Again, confirming the selected device. Let's go ahead and delete all the partitions so we can claim all this 120 gigabytes of space. Oh wait, before we proceed, I want to show you the different installation options we can take. Install alongside is primarily for dual booting, but again, for some reason it doesn't work for me. Erase disk. This, as the name feels like, is the nuclear option, after which the installer will make the partition choices for you. replace partition. This is the semi-nuke option, which you can use to just replace your operating system and not destroy your data if you set up your system like that. Oh, by the way, if we choose install alongside, we can, specify and resize the partition that we're going to give this operating system. All right, so let's go back to manual partitioning. Deleting all the partitions again. Oh, by the way, in this section, the changes that we make are not yet committed. They're still just instructions at this point. We will only actually make the changes if we press the next button and start the installation. Okay, so let's begin by creating our first partition, the boot partition. And let's give this a size of 1024 megabytes. And yes, I did say megabytes. You can read up on it if you want. Mount point should be /EFI. Let's name it EFI. And set the flag to boot. Let's create the EndeavourOS partition. Leave the file system as x4. Mount point set to root. I mean, not root, but just /. And let's name it EndeavourOS. By the way, let's set the size, because I want a dual boot, to 55,000, around half. Let's create the swap partition. Because I have 32 gigabytes of memory, I'll set it to 32 megabytes. File system should be swap. Let's label it as the swap and set the flag to swap. Now we have this empty or free space. I want to move the swap partition to the end just because. All right, so now we have this free space in the middle, which I want to set for elementary. So let's label this appropriately. Okay, something still... Oh, I want them to have the same sizes. All right, so let's resize EndeavourOS to around 44. And now we have this free space in the middle. So we have to resize elementary. So let's move elementary. Yeah, like that. So we have 44 now, but I want them to be somewhere around 43. How about 44? All right, so divided by 1024. I don't want to do the math here. So, okay, let's give this free space to both of them, 44,500, and set this to another, move it a bit, and then, oh, wait. Yeah, 44,500. And we still have this. I'll give this to Endeavor. Resizing. Yeah. So close. So close. There. All right. Okay. Wait, let's begin. Oh, wait. I'm missing all the labels again. Let's label this again as EndeavourOS. Label is EFI, correct. Everything's correct. Boot EFI. Elementary, no mount point, new partition, swap is swap. Let's go. What's this? The file system must have type FAT32. Credentials, let's, 4-character password, totally uncrackable. Next, then the installer will show us all the details, just, to be sure, because I already almost made the mistake of reformatting my entire 1 terabyte data drive. Install now. All right, so again, I'm gonna fast forward through this entire process because it might take a while. Okay, so that was actually faster than I thought. Okay, restart now and then done to reboot. Yeah, so we have another black screen, boot sequence, matrix output. I think the two most popular hacker movies for me are The Matrix and Swordfish. Where you see the main character is just doing this kind of stuff. All right, welcome back to EndeavourOS. Let's set the scale to 100. Apply. All right, so we're done with the installation of EndeavourOS. It's time to make the live USB for elementary OS. So we're gonna go get Etcher again. All right, download. Get the 64-bit. Thank you, Internet. All right, let's make it executable. Properties, permissions. Make executable, yes. Okay, launch. Yes, execute. Flash from file. Let's look for our hard drive again. I have to mount it. Data, let's go. All right. Data, software, systems, Linux. There we go. Elementary. Select target. Flash. This may take a while, so let's do other stuff. So first thing we're gonna do is change the wallpaper because I just love this bundled wallpaper. I mean, just look at it. Now we're gonna install Docker. What am I doing? Sorry, I'm still getting used to the shortcut keys here. Docker Linux. I mean Arch Linux. Install Docker desktop. Says here for non-GNOME desktop environments, we're using the Plasma KDE desktop environment, so we're gonna have to go with this. Sudo pacman-s GNOME terminal. Enter. Yes. All right, done. Then install client binaries. Docker does not have an Arch package repository, so GG. Install client binary. How do we do this? Oh, so many requirements. I don't know if we have all of these. Whatever, let's just try it. Download a static. We're gonna go get the latest 26.1.3. Here we have it. Then it says we extract. Thank God for these instructions. CD downloads. Tar exivif docker blah, blah, blah. Extract it. Next we sudo copy the docker all files into user bin. Sudo docker run. Voila. So that was steps 1 and 2. Let's go download the Arch package from the release page. Download Arch. There we go, downloading. Next, it says we have to install the package with pacman. Control C to terminate this terminal process. Then we install with pacman, sudo pacman-u docker, verifying that it's -u now, correct? What's this QMU stuff? We go with full. Yes. Wow, everything's going so fast. Okay, I spoke too soon. Let's go, let's go. All right, and we're done. Let's launch Docker desktop. Accept. Continue without signing in, blah, 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 full stack, local, for science. All right, it's working, so we can close it now. Next thing we're gonna do is install VS Code. Okay, Debian and Ubuntu, Snap, OpenSUSE. Oh, there, Arch Linux, community maintained repository. So let's go with the repository. Okay, so what are we supposed to do? Sudo pacman s Visual Studio Code bin. So how do you install from the Arch Linux user repository? Install via Visual Studio Code on Arch Linux. Okay, so apparently we install with yay s Visual Studio Code bin. None? None? All right, flashing is done. So we'll just finish the installation of VS Code and the last item, and we'll proceed to installing elementary OS. All right, now I will install something for my hardware. I have a Deepcool AK400 digital cooling fan, and they have software for this for Windows. But in typical Linux fashion, we don't. But thank God for the people who created an implementation of this for Linux using Python. We're going to install this using Git. If you're not familiar with Git, don't worry about that. It's not related to Linux. I just want to demonstrate how installation is done in various ways on Linux. Clone the repo. There. Let's install the requirements. It says here it has a few, dependencies. Sudo pacman s Python 3 JSON 5 Python 3 HID API Python 3 psutil. Okay, target not found. Let's remove the references to Python 3. And there. Okay, yes, proceed with installation. Now install. Okay, errors. We're still missing Python click. Let's run the configurator again. Stop the service. Yes. All packages will be checked. Okay, I have the AK403. Do you see that it shows random data? Okay, let me start the recording. Okay, as you can see, there's random data, so it's working. Don't know this, so let's go with something familiar too. Let's keep it to 2 seconds interval. Call the uninstall script. Now let's run the installation script. Boom, there you go. We got this working now, so we can finally reboot into the elementary live USB. Exit, close, restart. Let's make the USB bootable. Right, save and exit. Speaking of elementary, time flies. My kid is graduating into elementary. So yeah, it's a beautiful life. Oh wow, really small menu. 4K display when you have a 1080p display. Wow, 4K resolution on a 24-inch monitor with no way to change the resolution. Okay, English, US. We're gonna do a custom install. I don't know why it doesn't have install alongside, but maybe it's gonna be different for you. As we remember, we allocated a third partition for this. So let's use this. Enable format, use as root, but not root, just slash. Use the boot partition as boot EFI. Use the swap partition as swap. All right, let's proceed. Let's include the proprietary drivers Raisins install. We can choose to show log for whatever purpose. Definitely simpler than Endeavour. I'll also probably need to fast forward this during editing. Wow, installation done. Restart device, quick and easy. I don't know what this is doing. Maybe shutting down. There you go. So we get another black screen, although I do think it's the OS loading. Wow, okay, we're greeted by the setup screen on first boot to complete the, setup. Credentials like before, uncrackable 4-character password. Welcome to welcome. Let's skip all that. Ready to go. First thing, let's change the resolution again. 1080p. Why does it default to 120 Hertz? Okay, keep settings. And close. Okay, let's adjust the time. Asia, Manila. Right. Let's try to install stuff. Let's launch the terminal and see if Git is installed. Okay, so it's not. Install Git. Sudo apt install Git. Now that feels more like home. Let's install Docker. Install Docker desktop. Okay, looking for the Ubuntu installation. Ubuntu or Debian? Let's Google this just to be sure. Okay, based on Ubuntu LTS. Let's go back to the installation and get the Ubuntu version. Do we have GNOME terminal? Dunno. Let's install anyway. Sudo apt install GNOME terminal. Yes. Let's set up the Docker apt repository. Copy the install script and paste it. And I'm going to ignore the warning signs because I know what this does anyway. Finally, we installed the latest version by installing all of these. Copy, paste. Okay, so copy pasting the previous script didn't work. So let's make an executable script. Copying this again. Let's launch the File Explorer. Where is it? Oh, there, files. I'll make it here in downloads and make a blank sh file. Something.sh. Creative naming. Alright, let's open a text editor. Paste. And as per instructions, change version codename to Ubuntu codename. CD downloads. Then chmod x. Then execute it. Once we've finished the setup of Docker's app repository, we install the latest version again. Yep. All right, now it's working. So we're done with step 1. Let's go to step 2 and download the deb package. Sudo apt install docker. Yes. Okay, installation is done, so let's launch Docker Desktop. Nice, accept. Continue without signing in, yada yada yada, blah 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 blah. All right, nice. So let's close this now. And let's Google how to install VS Code. Oh, I thought it was going to be something like apt install VS Code. Install the deb package, so let's download it. Sudo apt install. Let's wait for it. There. Code. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so VS Code is installed now. So let's try running it. Visual Studio Code. Okay, let's skip everything. We're gonna reboot to try and see if we can boot into Endeavour. We are almost done, so thank you for watching this video, and please consider subscribing if you want more of these. Spamming Dell. Okay, let's change the boot to Endeavour. Alright, we're at the tail end of this video. We're just waiting for the... Alright, Endeavour. And now we get to see this. Boot sequence of Endeavour. And there There you go. Freshness, success. All right. I hope to see you in another video. Thank you very much.